Responsiveness is often misinterpreted, and we had many complaints at how it's poorly described in a Drive Safe booklet. Now, the simplest way of describing what they mark under responsiveness, it's the situational awareness. So when I say situational awareness, you would really need to respond accordingly to any given situations, and you might encounter literally millions of different situations. There's never been one identical situation that you come across anywhere in the world on any road. It's got to be something different. If every situation that you might encounter comprises of multiple factors such as, visibility, distance from the car that's in front of you, what's behind you, are there any pedestrians, is there a cyclist on the right or left hand side, is the light changing, is it a roundabout, what type of intersection, what's the surface of the road, and what are the weather conditions. It could be more. You'd have to be able to react properly to every single situation that you encounter. One and only way to be good at responsiveness when you're driving a motor vehicle is to have enough experience, because without experience you can't react properly to most situations, let alone every single situation. I'll make a simple comparison. For example, if you're just starting to play tennis, and if the person that's coaching you, if they're serving 110 kilometers an hour from the other side across the net, you will need time to be able to watch where that ball is going and how you will return that serve or anything else. If you're about to kick the ball and you haven't done it so many times, you will certainly make a lot of mistakes before you become good at it. It's very simple. So without experience, no driver can be capable behind the wheel to react promptly to prevent the potentially dangerous situation on the road. You can refer to similar situations that you've previously seen in traffic, and you can train your judgment. Now, one thing in particular that I want to recommend to everyone, do not avoid the difficult situations. So I personally recommend that you go through situations where you need to turn without a green arrow at a major intersection, even when there's no traffic lights. If you're turning right and you've got to look left and right and get in the middle in the refuge lane or refuge space to wait. So don't avoid going through the difficult situations. Change lanes at high speeds on freeways, go through the tunnel, go on highways during the peak hours traffic, and also you've got to make sure that you have enough practice at night, because that's a completely different sport. And if you can drive in unpredictable sort of conditions such as heavy rain and wind and all of that, just make sure that you've got adequate preparation to become a driver with license, because practice will enable you to recognize situations and you can train your judgment and be better at how you're reacting to certain situations without making major errors, because that could cost you everything. Making a major error where you need to react within a split of a second can have serious consequences, and you've got to understand that more times you've seen a similar scenario, the better you're going to be prepared to react the next time and every next time after that. So when you have driving lessons, it's best to go through as many situations as possible where you can't predict what's going to happen the next moment. Once your situational awareness becomes your second nature, you're going to be a safer and more capable driver. To score adequate amount of points for responsiveness, you will basically need to drive smoothly. You will need to use your indicators properly according to every single situation. You will need to look at your mirror and spot the hazard anywhere. So you're not expected to be responsible just for yourself and your passengers. You've got to feel responsible for everyone else that potentially makes mistakes while they're driving around you. We had a few calls where people asked us, is the assessor going to trick me? Is that how they judge you for responsiveness? No, they're not going to trick you. That is against the law here in Australia, because we've got to really treat the hazard as it comes. This is not a joke. Driving a car can never be a joke, because you can get involved in a serious accident as a result of some improper testing. We should never brake suddenly for no reason, and we will need to be able to understand and assess every risk within our immediate surroundings. Initially, when you are an inexperienced driver, you've got to understand that you are consciously competent of doing all of these things. What I mean by consciously competent, it means that you're going to have to think sometimes about situations, and you've got to plan in advance a little bit more. When you become more experienced, you will be subconsciously competent, which means that you're not going to have to think about it, but you're going to just do it right, okay? But it takes time. So once again, responsiveness comes only with experience. There's simply no shortcuts. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.